Hey there, everyone. It's Kelly from Kelly's Astrology here. Welcome. This is your Aspect of the Week video. And this week, I'm highlighting a featured aspect happening the week starting Monday, October 25th. So the aspect I want to look at in this video is one of my favorite aspects through the whole month of October, which is Venus in Sagittarius, sextile Jupiter in Aquarius. This aspect is forming from 22 Sag to 22 Aquarius. Before I dive in, though, I want to make sure you know about my next online astrology course, which begins on Monday, November 1st, just next week. And this is all about professional predictions, how to combine transits and progressions. So if you're an intermediate to advanced student or you're a new astrology practitioner and you want to get better at predictive astrology, I hope you'll join me for my class starting November 1st. You can find details about where to register or get more information via the link below. So let's dive into talking about Venus sextile Jupiter. It's a little bit of a no-brainer that a positive type aspect or a flowing aspect between the two benefic planets, Venus and Jupiter, would be a popular one. So we know that Venus and Jupiter are benefic in their nature, which means that all other things being equal, they are inclined to help you, to point you towards support, to help you understand or appreciate some of the sweet goodness or the kind of golden opportunities that exist in your life or that lie before you. When we look at the aspects of the day and the week, I'm always very excited when I see Venus and Jupiter working together. This feels a little bit like good stuff really gelling. And there's quite a few permutations of this Venus sextile Jupiter aspect. So I want to run through some of the potential possibilities that you can look out for. So this aspect is at its strongest on Thursday, October 28th, particularly if you're in Canada and the US. You're going to feel this most strongly on Friday, October 29th, if you're in Australia, and kind of overnight from Thursday to Friday if you're in the UK or Europe. So this aspect feels particularly fortunate because it's happening on a Thursday, which is the day of Jupiter. So it's quite supportive for Jupiter to get that extra help, that extra sweetness, a little bit of magnetism and charm coming in from Venus. Let's pop the chart up on the screen and then talk a little bit more about this particular aspect. Okay, so hopefully you're seeing that here. So here is, let me change the color. So here is Venus and here is Jupiter. So this is Venus just coming into that sextile. So I'm going to animate the chart and move it forward by 24 hours. And you're going to see Venus move out to 22 Sag and make that exact sextile with Jupiter. Okay, so here are some possibilities. Now, there's so many things to say here. While we've got the chart on the screen, let's talk a little bit about how Venus is in Sag and Jupiter is in Aquarius. And these two planets have a desire to perhaps help each other out. It's a little bit of a friendship quality because Venus is in a sign ruled by Jupiter. There is a feature of friendliness. It's not a true or full mutual reception because Jupiter isn't in a sign ruled by Venus, but there is still a quality of friendship and receptivity there because it's a sextile aspect and one planet is in a sign ruled by the other, which adds to the affirming, stabilizing possibilities of this aspect. So first and foremost, I want you to think about your own birth chart. And I want you to think about the house where you have the sign of Sagittarius and the house where you have the sign of Aquarius. And I want you to think about those two topics. So the topics of your Sag house and the topics of your Aquarius house. I want you to think about those two areas of your lives working together. Maybe there is a contact in your Sag house that gives you useful info or helps open a door for you about something you're trying to do or achieve in your Aquarius house. So it could be vice versa, but think about how you could use the topics of your Sag and Aquarius houses in combination to your own benefit. And you could think about that for Thursday, October 28th. You could probably think about this for the whole second part of the week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. There is a little bit more of a trickier aspect kicking in on Saturday. So take advantage of this aspect while you can. That aspect that's a little tricky for Saturday the 30th is Sun square Saturn. And I talk more about that aspect and all the other aspects happening this final week of October in my monthly astrology guide membership. If you're not a member, you can follow the links below to sign up. And if you are a member, you've already got all those details. So a little bit more on Venus sextile Jupiter. So we know that it's a positive connection or a supportive, helpful interaction between the topics of your Sagittarius house and the topics of your Aquarius house. It's not a totally perfect day because while the Venus-Jupiter aspect is going on, we do have the moon making a little bit of a tough angle to Saturn. So the Venus-Jupiter aspect is quite good and there's some great stuff to get out of it. But just so you know, there's a little bit of a frustrated quality in the background with that moon-Saturn aspect. To be totally transparent with you, I wanted to make sure we had that out in the open. But let's talk a little bit more about Venus and Jupiter together. So if Venus is one of our planets to do with relationship, to do with bonding, connection, closeness, and togetherness, Venus in aspect to Jupiter is helpful for getting closer to people. This could be getting closer to a friend, developing a professional association, and it can certainly help in our romantic lives as well. So when we think about Venus in a positive aspect and Venus topics being helped, that means any kind of relationship, family dynamics, social dynamics, professional dynamics. There is a quality of alliance or allegiance with Venus sextile Jupiter, as if we can find something that we all are interested in or that we can all agree on. So this Venus sextile Jupiter aspect does speak of increasing togetherness. And that can be because we're just feeling close and warm and fuzzy and affectionate. It's a great day to share your affections or to show your gratitude to the people that have really supported you and helped you. So we can be feeling a little bit of that warm and fuzzy and wanting to share it. But it might be that you realize you have this weird, quirky, or very personal goal or dream, and you discover somebody that you already know shares that same interest or passion as you do. So we can see some help with Venus things. So there's relationships. Venus is also about the arts and beauty. And she does speak to things like pleasure, leisure, and relaxation activities. And if you haven't had enough time or a chance to slow down, enjoy some of the simple pleasures in life, this Venus sextile Jupiter aspect might bring a reminder about the benefits of just enjoying the little luxuries that you have, whether that's beautiful something to drink or a lovely meal or a refreshing walk with somebody that whose company you just enjoy. With Venus, it is about those simple pleasures. It doesn't have to be lavish. It can be lavish, but it doesn't have to be. It's really about togetherness and it's about enhancing and developing connection. With Jupiter, Jupiter's topics get a little bit of a boost from Venus as well. Now, some of Jupiter's topics, like travel and healthcare and gathering in large groups, have really taken a beating over the last couple of years through the pandemic. So this aspect, while in and of itself is not going to solve all of our issues, it certainly might bring a positive development or a welcome piece of news to do with things like travel, adventure, gathering in large groups, and so on. There might also be some welcome news for educational institutions or schooling systems, things like that, which are also under the purview, partly of Jupiter and sometimes Mercury, depending on the age of the students and the topics being taught. But generally speaking, we might expect some welcome news or happy news to arrive, either through the media in society and culture, or just in your personal life because a friend or a sibling calls you up and says something great is going on in their world. So it's an aspect in general of finding your way back to the good stuff, whether that is reminding yourself of a dream or a goal that you've always had that you want to get back on track with, whether that is connecting with people that make you feel good, that motivate you. You know, this Venus sextile Jupiter aspect has a lot of enthusiasm and a lot of movement. It is Venus in a fire sign, Sagittarius, and Jupiter in an air sign, Aquarius. And air and fire signs are constantly kind of moving. Air is always moving. moving and our fire signs are going upwards. So this is about getting closer to things that are meaningful or inspirational. There is definitely a quality of activity here. So it's about doing things. It's about taking action. It's about suggesting things or being the person to take the initiative. As you do that, you're going to unlock opportunities, or you're going to realize there is support, there is help available that maybe you hadn't been aware of. So this is the kind of aspect that making the first move or taking the first step can actually turn out better than you expect. So team, let me know how you're experiencing this aspect. I would love to hear from you about what kind of happy experience, what kind of lovely encounter, or what kind of good news you've received this week. I know in astrology, we often talk about some of the astrological problems or difficult aspects. So it's so lovely to be able to share a more positive and uplifting aspect with you today. I also love that this aspect is coming through as Jupiter is getting close to the end of its time in Aquarius. And so there may be something here that gives you that nudge towards completion. So anyway, watch for those positive signs. Let me know in the comments below how this aspect is going for you. And if you are interested in improving your predictive astrology skills and you're already an intermediate level or advanced level student of astrology, I hope you can join me next week for my professional predictions course on how to combine transits and progressions. I'll be back with more again soon, team. Until then, take care.